Now, there is a bit of a storm brewing overseas, as they say in the trade. Okay, now, Canelo Alvarez, the unbeaten young 21-year-old Mexican golden boy superstar, had one opponent for his massive so-called pay-per-view fight in Vegas on September the 15th, and that opponent was injured in a crash and may or may not walk again. That's Paul Williams. Then he was maybe going to have another opponent, and that opponent ended up getting beat. And then he was going to have this guy. Then he was going to have that guy. And in the background the whole time was a guy called Luis DeCubas saying, hold on a minute, fight my man, the Cuban, Erislandy Lara. Fight Lara, fight Lara. For some reason, Lara became the invisible man, the invisible light middleweight, the invisible Cuban. Ay. So we still don't know. Richard Schaefer, meanwhile, who controls Canelo Alvarez, said that the show will not be a pay-per-view, which seems to give a little bit of credibility to the chance that perhaps it can be Erislandy Lara, who I think everybody would admit isn't necessarily a pay-per-view fighter right now. Anyway, there's only one man that can cut through the rubbish. There's only one man that can cut through the judge. There's only one man that can tell me the truth, and that is Luis, who I'm delighted to say is on the line now. Luis, how are you?
Hey, how's it going, brother? How's everything going?
It's going fantastic. Just, could you tell me, Luis, where are we at the moment? Where are we with this potential Lara Alvarez fight?
Well, right now Lara's got an important fight this Saturday, on Showtime, and we're worried about Freddie Hernandez. At this point the only word we've been hearing from Golden Boy is Canelo Alvarez is scared to fight Lara. That's the word we've been hearing, and we haven't been offered the fight or even mentioned or like you said, the invisible man. He's turned into the invisible man.
He has. Because, no disrespects to Paul Williams, but last year, when Lara boxed him back in July, it was a bad decision, wasn't it? Lara, well, most people seem to think he won clearly, yeah? Then, of course, Williams did get the shot, which, of course, is worth a good, good dollars, good money. So, really, the natural man to fill Paul Williams' shoes is Lara.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And we're both promoted by Golden Boy Promotions. We're both Golden Boy. We're under the same stable, so it's a fight that should be easy to make. And for some reason, we've been left out of the mix. And I've been getting calls. You guys called again from across the world to just say, Lara's the guy, and we don't understand why he's not being mentioned by Oscar De La Hoya and company.
Well, we like fairness in the UK, and especially on the BBC. We like fairness here, and I like to open this show up. A few minutes ago I was talking about 13 and 14-year-old amateur boxers in a part of London, and now I'm talking to you about a massive Las Vegas showdown. If you don't get the call up to fight Alvarez, and it sounds like you won't, what would Lara do next? Because he's poised now, he's ready now, isn't he?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I manage him. I'm working on a deal to bring in a very powerful advisor who's going to help us out, and we expect if it's not Alvarez, we'll get a big fight. Whether it's the Austin Trout, there's Bunridge, there's the rematch with Carlos Molina. There's tons of fights out there, but the one fight everyone's calling for is Canelo Alvarez. So I think we're just going to keep putting the pressure that way and figure out where we go from there.
Do you think, before I let you go, and thanks very much for your time, do you think that Alvarez is scared? Or do you think that's Golden Boy?
I don't think he's scared. I don't think he's scared. I think he's terrified. I think so's the Golden Boy crew. I really think they know that Lara stops Alvarez within six to 8 rounds, no question, and they really know that the Golden Boy will be deceased after that.
Now, let me ask you this, Louis. You and your family have been involved for years and years with the Team Freedom. I'm not even sure if that's a name that we use anymore, the Team Freedom. Yeah. That was years ago, back in 1995 and 1996. Now, sometimes, and I've got to be careful how I word this, sometimes it's not been as easy to market and make the Cuban fighters as popular as they should be and as popular as they deserve. It has been difficult sometimes, hasn't it?
It's difficult, obviously, when you don't have a country behind you, because this country is a communist country, and when they come over here, it's a little difficult to get the fan base, and our biggest fan base is down in Miami, where in reality, Lara hasn't been given the opportunity to show whether he's got a big fan base or not. To be honest with you, we think he'll do big business down in Miami. I really do, and he's the most popular fighter in all of Florida, and one of the most popular fighters in boxing, by far. So I think this kid's different, and he's attracting tons of fans just based on his ability and the fact that he'll fight anybody in the world. There is no give me this guy or give me that guy. No, we'll fight anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. The fight we've been after was Sergio Martinez. We could never get him in the ring, and now it's Canelo Alvarez. So let's see how that goes.
You are without doubt the masters, the kings of that club that an old promoter here used to call the Who Needs Them Club. You're too good for your own good. You're too good for your own good. Listen, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure and a delight talking to you, cutting through the rubbish tonight. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you, guys. Just make sure you guys follow at Luis DeCubas Jr., and then we'll have all the updates on Aries Landy, Lara, and all the other great fighters we got, like Brady's Prescott and you know, Robert the Ghost Guerrero. Will all be updates there on Twitter, okay?
Yeah, listen, I'm going to get Guerrero on the show in a week or so. When's his fight? Is it Saturday? When is it?
His fight is July 28th, and as you guys know, Robert's going to make history. He's going to be the second man only to Oscar De La Hoya to win a fourth world title in a fourth different weight class, being the only Mexican American behind Oscar De La Hoya. So he's really jumped into uncharted territories, and I really feel Robert Guerrero's going to be the next superstar in boxing. Yeah,
I'm going to get the ghost on soon. Listen, Luis DeCubas, thanks very much. It's a delight and a pleasure to have spoken to you.
Thank you, guys.
No, thank you very much indeed. See, I always like to include a little bit of that if I can. Doesn't always work. Sometimes you get guys on the phone from overseas and they don't work. Sometimes you get guys in the studio who are local and it doesn't work. But